BraveWords.com meets the drum tornado. Mr. Dave Lombardo, thank you so much for joining us here. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Very good. Good seeing you.
Now, we wanted to start off talking about, this is a first for Canada. Well, one of the first for Canada. Definitely a first for Toronto, bringing this festival vibe from Europe to Southern Ontario. How important is it for Slayer and bands and fans? Like, what's the vibe to kind of support this and catch up to Europe? It's been, they got a few years ahead of us here.
I think more than a few years. I mean, they've been at this for a while. I think the first one that, you know, North America has attempted to do was Montreal. I don't know what that was called. I forget, but
HeavyMTO.
HeavyMTO. It was phenomenal. I got off the bus and I thought I was in Europe. You know, just the whole setting, the tents, the stage, and it was legit. It was done the right way. So seeing it done here, you know, I think it's another plus for Canada. I could see this whole little festival chain happening clear across the country.
Now, Slayer has been supporting and painting the world with blood for a number of months now. How is that feeling with the new record and the fan reaction? And when are we going to hear news that you're working on something new?
Well, I think we need to recharge after. The tour is ending August 6th or 7th, and I think we just need to, you know, go relax for a while because we've been at it for a while. We've been on since February 28th, with only a month in between, and then another week, so about 5 weeks total. We've been off. So,
how does Dave Lombardo then decompress after a tour?
I lay in my own bed and say, I'm back. Take a deep breath and whoa, that was crazy. And I'm glad I made it home and take a couple days off. And next thing you know, I'm on the phone, buddies, and, you know, my other project, film that I've been working with. And, you know, it's time to get together. Come on. You know, they come over, hang out, cook, have some beers, listen to music. You know, so it's good.
That's how it should be done, right?
Right.
A lot of bands are questioning this album tour, the whole routine that we've all been used to for years. Approaching this brand new record, like, any thoughts about kind of rejigging it and maybe doing the whole Haunting the Chapel EP? Rush did it recently with just releasing a couple of songs instead of doing a full album. Do you still have faith in a record?
Yeah, because I think a record to me is at least to people that appreciate art. And I think an album is an expression form. Of course, it has music, but it puts together like the thoughts of the artist, you know, and the artwork and the layout, you know. And I think for not collectors, collectors and just fans, they I think it's good that they buy something like this and you can enjoy it just a little bit more than just a CD or a download.
Now, Slayer is a different beast these days because of some behind-the-scenes things going on with Mr. Hanneman. And you have a little fill-in guitar player, not a newbie, but obviously it's a big change for Slayer to have Gary Holt, who's got his own reputation, his own band. me as a fan, I'm pinching myself that this is even happening. The fact that Jeff was ill and you've got this legendary riff master. How have you been adapting, and how have you working with Gary?
Nothing, you know, I can't explain how, you know, it's sad what happened, you know, what has happened with Jeff, you know, but we anticipate his return. You know, I'm sure he'll be recovered by the Big Four show at Yankee Stadium. But you know, that's been hard. And on this tour, we got on this bus, and it's difficult to be on the bus and, you know, not think of Jeff. It's like, dude, where is he? You know, come on, he's got to get better. You know, so we're crossing our fingers. On the other hand, you know, having Gary, he's really helped us in an amazing way. He's stepped up. He learned the music. He's kicked ass. He's great stage presence. He's just nailing it, you know. And he's a great guy. We've known him forever.
Right.
I mean, there's pictures of us. I mean, we were, what, 19 years old? I mean, I'm 46. I think he's the same, 45, 46. So you could imagine. I mean, we have stories. Hey, do you remember this? You know, I remember playing this place at this time. And we share the same music. So the addition to him, you know, has been great. It's been really nice.
So I guess it kind of fits like a glove then. Musically, when you're on stage, you're watching this different person, I guess, on your right. How has it changed you and working with him on stage?
I listen to the leads more. I listen to what he's doing. And, you know, I appreciate what he's taken from Jeff and like his leads. He's not playing them exactly like Jeff, because nobody could play leads exactly like Jeff, or, you know, unless you sit there and study him. So he's his own person. He'll just take out certain little notes, nuances or melodies that Jeff does, and he'll play off of those. So I find myself listening a lot more on stage, because I always knew the other leads, and now I'm like intrigued by what's coming up.
Well, the most important part, as you've alluded to, is Jeff's health. And can you give us like a little status report and even explain like what happened with the whole flesh-eating thing? It's terrible what happened.
It's horrible. Yeah. Well, apparently he was bit by a spider, or it was a cut and it got infected somehow. I don't know. I don't know the details. All I know, it was from his wrist all the way up to up here. And this whole muscle was exposed. I saw pictures at one time, and and it was just all cut out. They had to clean it all out because it was rotting. He waited too long, and but you know, I'm glad he's alive, because that was the main thing. He was, you know.
But you're a tradesman. You're like a painter. You need to work with your hands. You're a guitar player.
Yeah.
He must have been devastated, and even like at this point, we're kind of surprised as fans to see him not back on the road. That's how serious this is, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It was very serious. Still is serious. He's still recovering. You know, he needs to do more therapy. You know, so he could open his arm more. Because, you know, when you have skin grafting in this area, you know, you need to stretch it. It's painful.
Well, you gave us hope, or him hope, being at the Yankee Stadium gig. Let's talk about this whole Big Four. Talk about pinching ourselves, having Exodus as guitar player with Slayer. Now the Big Four, unheard of. If you would have talked about this in the 80s or the 90s, it's like, no, this ain't going to happen. But to have it to happen, although we only get 3/4 of them here in Canada, these Big Four shows must be very memorable for you. What's the vibe? Like, what's the feeling as a band working with these other bands?
You know, it's the familiar faces, you know, that you get, you know, the familiarity, you know, the camaraderie. You know, I've known the Anthrax guys forever. Megadeth, I mean, Mustaine and I, we get along great. You know, I guess I get along with everybody. You know, I have no issues or problems with anybody. I mean, I would have wished to see Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Janis Joplin, The Doors, The Rolling Stones all on one stage. Those were my favorite bands at that time. I wish I could have seen those all on one stage. That would have been amazing. and now they got it in a different way. So.
Being in Canada, we don't have a big forest show. Even from where you guys are all from, there's only been going to be officially 2 shows. What's your feeling on extending it? Do you think has it lost a little of its luster or magic, or would you be full on for a full North American tour?
I'm full on. I'm in. I would love it. Yeah. Even how they're doing it now, I think it's kind of cool because it kind of it's like a sense of anticipation. You know, where's the next one going to be? Is there going to be a next one?
Is there any one of the bands or a person of the bands that you actually connected with, you hung out with? Like, did you sit there with Charlie Benante and like, oh my God, how did you do that? Or people that wanted to connect with you because you're the drum tornado?
We did it all in Greece. It was Charlie, Sean, Lars, and myself, and you know, we were just all discussing our ailments. You know, dude, aren't you feeling this? And it's like, yeah, man, we aches and yeah. Lars asked me, how do I do it? And I tell him vitamins. I take my vitamins every day. Take a whole pack of vitamins. And I don't know, it's just helped me. Drink a lot of water. So.
Any other exercises? Anything else to keep your...
Stretch, but I think I do some kind of yoga is what I've been told. Because it seems like, I mean, I don't know what yoga is. I've never looked into it, never got into it or anything. But I stretch a lot and I just breathe. And... that's all I do.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're a huge fan, so cheers, man.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.